What's up everybody, Noah from Stage 3 Motorsports here, and today we're going to be showing you how to install this Roush cold air intake on your F150 with the 5-liter V8. So we've got it put in here, but let's go ahead and jump in and show you where to start. First up, we need to remove the snorkel going from the motor to the actual intake box. So we're going to undo the hose clamps both by the throttle body and up here. And we're just going to use a 9/32 socket on that. Now take this coolant line that's running through a little clip at the top of the snorkel and just push that out so it's not stuck onto it. So now we need to undo these two fittings on the back of the snorkel. This first white one is kind of just a Ford proprietary style clip. So if you can pop the little black part up on the top and get a screwdriver in there, and you just push back and that should slide off there. You can see the fitting. Now for this other clip, there's kind of a blue ring around the inside of it, and there's a little tab that you need to get your finger on. And once you pull on that, you'll feel it unclip, and you can push back on that as well, so it should come free. Then with all that done, we're just gonna work this snorkel off. And get that out of the engine bay. Next up, let's undo the two clips here on the top of the airbox and then pull it back towards you. There's some tabs here that kind of slot into the bottom half. So we can put that out of the way. And we'll lift our filter out of here too. Now we've got a wiring harness along the back of our airbox here, and it's just kind of got these push-in fittings, Christmas tree fittings that are holding it on there. So we're gonna pry those out of the way so we can take that whole harness off. That way it's not stuck to the box as we're trying to pull it out. Over here on your fender, you'll see there's a bolt mounted through holding the box. So we're gonna use a 1/2-inch socket to remove that. And before we yank the whole airbox out, we wanna come up to the snorkel, and there's two little plastic pins here that are holding this to the shroud. So I'm gonna pop these up. With all that undone, the only thing holding this in now is just two little bosses that go down into some rubber grommets. So if we pull up on this and kind of wiggle a little bit, it should come free. And then if you look here, the snorkel is attached to the box with this little screw. So we need to undo that so we can pull the whole snorkel out, because we're actually going to reuse that piece. Now, you want to make sure you grab this little grommet off your factory airbox that was sitting right here, as well as that screw that you used to remove it. And we're actually going to put this back on, and the Roush intake box is going to sit over the top of that. So here we've got the new Roush lower part of the box with our factory snorkel attached to it. You just want to reuse that same screw that we used to take it off. And we're gonna put this in position so that those two prongs on the bottom go into the rubber grommets. But we also wanna make sure that over here, it's gonna hook over the top of that grommet we just installed. There we go. And then the holes at the front of the intake snorkel there should line up with those clips where they were. Now we're just gonna reinstall these two plastic clips that we took out earlier. Next up, grab your new cone filter as well as this intermediate pipe that goes through the box. And you're gonna wanna just tighten down that hose clamp, get the filter on there nice and snug. And you'll see that there's two screw holes that are gonna support this whole assembly. So we're gonna slide that through the box, get it sitting into place. And then Roush gives you two new screws to attach this. So we're gonna use a 10mm socket on that. Run it down through the hole here, and this should hold it nice and snug. So with the new snorkel here, there's a few things you're going to want to attach to it before we put it in the vehicle. You're going to have a smaller coupler for the bottom half with 2 small hose clamps that's going to go on the throttle body. Then you're going to have this larger coupler that's going to go to the back of the intake, and you're going to have 2 larger hose clamps for that. Then with these 2 holes here, they should be empty when you get this out of the box, but you're going to have these fittings that need to go inside them. So just put the rubber grommet in first, then push the fittings in, and make sure you have the smaller fitting towards the intake and the fatter fitting towards the throttle body. Once you have all that done, this thing's going to be pretty much good to go. So we just need to snake it down in here and get it attached. Now we just need to reattach these 2 factory lines to the snorkel. So we'll just pop that in place and bend this one back. Now grab your lid for the top of the air box, and this should just sit right in place over the top. You'll see there's a couple different holes with some screws provided from Roush. So we're going to tighten all these down, and that will just about do it. Very last thing to do here is if you have this wiring harness, you're going to want to just fold that up and zip tie it to this harness so it's out of the way. That way you don't have to worry about it flopping around or getting stuck on anything. So we're going to tighten that up real quick. That's going to be a wrap on this Roush intake install. From here, there's really not much else to do. You can put some stickers on it if you want. If you want to pick up this Roush intake for your F150, you can head down in the description below. We'll have a link there that'll shoot you over to our website. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.